A prophet wrote these words 2,700 years ago. Every single one is unfolding right now in 2025, and you're watching it happen. Isaiah 66 verses 7 to 8. Shall a land be born in one day? Shall a nation be brought forth in one moment? May 14th, 1948. Israel became a nation in a single day after 2,000 years of dispersion. Isaiah predicted it would happen exactly like this, a nation born in one day. That day was May 14th, 1948. Literal fulfillment. Damascus has survived 4,000 years. Prophecy number 2 says it won't survive 2025. Isaiah 17:1. Damascus will cease to be a city and will become a heap of ruins. Damascus, oldest continuously inhabited city on earth, survived every empire for 4,000 years, never destroyed, until now. Syrian civil war, chemical weapons, entire districts reduced to rubble. Israeli strikes on Iranian targets in Damascus weekly. Russia maintaining bases. Iran shipping weapons through Syria. Regional powder keg. For 4,000 years, Damascus survived. In 2025, one major escalation could fulfill this prophecy overnight. Prophecy number 3. Riots called peaceful. Violence called speech. Isaiah predicted this inversion. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness. Not just moral decline, systematic inversion. Ancient virtues called oppressive. Behaviors condemned for millennia now celebrated. Riots called peaceful protests. Violence called speech. Speech called violence. Objective truth contested. What every civilization knew becomes hate to question. Isaiah predicted darkness would be called light. You're living through it right now. Isaiah 11:15 and Revelation 16:12. Strike it into 7 channels and lead people across in sandals. The Euphrates sustained civilization for 5,000 years. 2021 hit lowest level in recorded history. 2024 dropped another 30%. January 2025, Iraq declared water emergency. Entire villages abandoned. Farmers walking across sections that were 15 feet deep 3 years ago. Revelation says this drying prepares the way for kings from the east. The barrier that separated civilizations for 5,000 years is vanishing in 2025. Isaiah 34:1-2. The Lord is enraged against all the nations. 140 UN resolutions against Israel between 2015 and 2022. Only 68 for the rest of the world combined. Israel, the size of New Jersey, more condemned than China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea combined. October 7th, 2023. Hamas kills 1,200 Israelis. Global response? Protests against Israel. University encampments demanding Israel's destruction. Isaiah warned the whole world would be obsessed with this tiny strip of land. Every news cycle proves him right. The next 3 prophecies explain how the final system gets built. Daniel 12:4. Knowledge shall increase. Humanity's collective knowledge now doubles every 12 months. 90% of all scientists who ever lived are alive today. 1903, first flight. 1969, moon landing. 2024, AI that writes, diagnoses, creates art better than humans. CRISPR gene editing, quantum computers. We went from telegraph to AI that passes the bar exam in 150 years. The prophets saw this exponential explosion. This knowledge explosion required one more thing: global connectivity. Same verse, Daniel 12:4. Many shall run to and fro. Before 1900, fewer than 100,000 people ever traveled abroad. 2019, 1.5 billion international trips in 1 year. 1,800, 10 miles per hour on horseback. 1,900, 60 miles per hour by train. Today, 575 miles per hour commercial jets. Elon Musk's Starship, 17,000 miles per hour. You fly across oceans for business meetings. The prophets saw humans literally running to and fro at impossible speeds. And Israel became the testing ground. Isaiah 35:1. The desert shall rejoice and blossom like the rose. 1867. Mark Twain called it a desolate country, a silent, mournful expanse. Today, Israel exports $2.5 billion in agricultural products annually. From a desert, they invented drip irrigation, 240 million trees planted since 1948. The only place on earth where the desert is shrinking. Isaiah saw it 2,700 years before the first seed was planted. Revelation 13. No one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. For 2,000 years, technologically impossible. 2025. China's social credit system denies train tickets, hotel rooms, jobs based on behavior scores. Sweden. 80% of transactions cashless. India. Biometric payment system for 1.4 billion people. Your face is your credit card. Swedish companies implanting RFID chips in employees' hands for building access and payments. 50,000 people have already done it. 130 countries developing central bank digital currencies. Every transaction tracked. Programmable money. They can decide what you're allowed to buy. What was impossible for 1,900 years is being implemented in 2025. Isaiah 52:10 and Matthew 24:14. This gospel will be proclaimed throughout the whole world, and then the end will come. Bible translated into over 700 languages, portions in 3,500 plus languages. Bible apps, 500 million downloads. Christian radio broadcasts into North Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, satellite TV. Internet bypassing firewalls. Underground Iranian believers using encrypted Bible apps. Chinese house churches live streaming sermons. Wycliffe Bible translators. Every remaining language group contacted with translation projects underway. For the first time in 2,000 years, Jesus' prerequisite for the end is technologically possible, and it's happening now. You made it past minute 8. Here's the prophecy nobody talks about. Revelation 11:9-10 describes 2 witnesses killed in Jerusalem. For 3.5 days, some from the peoples and tribes and languages and nations will gaze at their dead bodies. Written 2,000 years ago. How could people from every nation watch 2 bodies lying in Jerusalem's streets at the same time? Impossible until your smartphone. October 7th, 2023. You watched the Hamas invasion in real time on your phone. Ukraine war, daily combat footage on TikTok. A teenager in Jakarta watches Jerusalem live. A farmer in Brazil sees it on his phone. A businessman in Tokyo gets the alert. John described global instantaneous communication 2,000 years before electricity existed. He just wrote what he saw. The whole world watching Jerusalem in real time. The technology is in your pocket right now. Bonus number 1. Hebrew revival. Zephaniah 3:9 predicted a pure language restored. Hebrew was dead for 2,000 years. No native speakers from 135 AD to 1881. 1881. Eliezer ben Yehuda started teaching his son Hebrew, the first native speaker in 18 centuries. Scholars said it was impossible. Today, 9 million speakers. Official language of a nation. Never happened to any other extinct language in human history. Bonus number 2. The fig tree generation. Matthew 24:32. Learn from the fig tree. Israel is the fig tree. Jesus said the generation that sees Israel reborn won't pass away before all these things happen. 1948 plus 1 biblical generation, 70 to 80 years according to Psalm 90:10, equals 2018 to 2028. We're inside the window right now in 2025. Here's what separates this generation from every other one that thought they were the last. Every single piece is on the board simultaneously. Israel didn't exist from 70 AD to 1948. Knowledge didn't explode until the 1900s. Global travel impossible before flight. Digital currency didn't exist until the 2000s. Damascus was never threatened with complete destruction until Syria's civil war. The Euphrates never dried up in 5,000 years until 2021 to 2025. Previous generations could point to one or two signs. We're watching 10 unfold at the same time. This isn't date setting. Jesus said no one knows the day or hour. But he also said we'd recognize the season by watching the signs. You're watching the season arrive. Jesus gave a checklist in Matthew 24. Let's see where we stand in 2025. Cluster 1. Global warfare. Wars and rumors of wars. 59 active armed conflicts in 2025. Ukraine entering year 4. Gaza conflict ongoing. China-Taiwan tensions at highest point since 1996. Nation against nation. Kingdom against kingdom. NATO versus Russia. Iran versus Israel. China versus US. Most geopolitically unstable period since World War II. Cluster 2. Natural catastrophes. Famines and pestilences. 345 million people facing acute food insecurity. Worst crisis on record. Turkey-Syria earthquake. 50,000 dead. Morocco. 3,000. Afghanistan. 1,500. COVID-19. 7 million dead globally. WHO warns disease X pandemic could be worse. Earthquakes in various places. Check. Cluster 3. Spiritual collapse. Christians hated by all nations. 365 million facing severe persecution. Highest level ever recorded. False prophets rising. Prosperity gospel empires. New Age Christianity. At least 7 cult leaders claiming to be Christ in 2024 alone. Love growing cold. Record depression rates. Suicide epidemic. Loneliness crisis. Family breakdown. Despite being more connected than ever through social media. Gospel preached to all nations. Covered that. First time in history it's complete. Every category fulfilled in one generation in 2025. There's one prophecy we haven't covered because it hasn't happened yet, but everything's ready. Daniel 9:27, Matthew 24:15, 2 Thessalonians 2:4. All describe a third temple in Jerusalem where sacrifices resume. The Temple Institute in Jerusalem has recreated every temple implement. Golden menorah, altar of incense, priestly garments, high priest breastplate with 12 gemstones. All according to Exodus specifications. They've bred 5 unblemished red heifers as required in Numbers 19 for temple purification. Flew them from Texas to Israel in 2022. They're being raised now. They mature this year, 2025. Trained Levitical priests. Architectural blueprints. They've practiced the sacrifices. Everything's ready except one thing. The Dome of the Rock sits where the temple must be built. And here's what most people don't know. Israel and Saudi Arabia are negotiating normalization right now in 2025. Part of those talks? Access to the Temple Mount. A peace deal could provide the political cover to rebuild, or a major war, or an earthquake. One major event could change everything overnight. When you see construction start on that mount, the final countdown has begun. So you've seen the evidence. 10 prophecies, all converging in 2025. Now here's the question that matters most. What does this mean for your life? So what do you do with this? First, don't panic. Jesus said when these things begin to happen, stand up and lift up your heads, because your redemption is drawing near. This isn't doom for believers, it's hope. Second, get right with God. If these prophecies are 100% accurate, and they've been perfect so far, then the Bible's claims about coming judgment and salvation through Christ alone are also accurate. Romans 10:9. If you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Third, tell people. If you really believe we're in the season Jesus described and there's coming judgment, love demands you share the gospel. Your family, your co-workers, your neighbors. The convergence of these prophecies suggests time is short. Use it wisely. 10 prophecies written 2,700 years ago. all unfolding in 2025. Isaiah didn't engineer Israel's rebirth. He didn't dry up the Euphrates. He didn't create the internet or digital currency. He just wrote what God showed him. And what he saw is what you're watching on the news every single night. The pieces are in place. The stage is set. The season Jesus described has arrived. The question isn't whether these prophecies will be fulfilled. History proves they will. The question is, are you ready for what comes next? You just watched 15 minutes of prophecy analysis. That puts you in the top 1% of viewers who actually pay attention. Watch next the hidden order of the apocalypse. Nobody explains, or if you want practical steps, my complete guide to preparing your family for what's coming, not theory, actual action steps you can take this week. Comment, guide. Hit subscribe if this made you think. You clearly care about understanding the times. Turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what happens next.